3, 2, 1. From the entertainment capital of the world. The party for a better tomorrow starts right here. Join the revolution. The Do Good, Be Great podcast starts now.
Never felt so good. From sunny Southern California, this is the Do Good, Be Great podcast with Wade Heath.
What's up, do-gooders? A new week is upon us, which means you and I, we have a new opportunity to bring some joy into the lives of others, all because we want to see people smile. Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the official podcast of Do Good, Be Great. My name is Wade, and this is the place where we learn to be better together. You see, I'm no expert. I am not a professional. Nope, I am just a guy looking to leave today greater than I found it. And it means a lot to me to know that you are along for that journey. It also means a lot to me to know how much you care. On our last broadcast, we talked about how I was just looking for a sign of unity, a sign of hope that would restore a bit of my faith in people. And I found it. Not just in the various things that I talked about on the show, but also in you. Thank you for the emails that you sent to me, dgbgradio@gmail.com, for the tweets you sent to me at WadeWire. Cannot tell you how much of an impact you made, and you remind me that we indeed are a do-good army. You remind me that there are more good people than we realize. Thank you. Now, speaking of good people, of course, we have one on the show for you here today. You might remember our boy Alex Radulich. We spoke to him earlier in the year about how he dropped out of college to commit his life to acts of random kindness, so much so that he named his nonprofit organization just that, Acts of Random Kindness, ARC, A-R-K. And ARC Project Now, his organization, along with his buddies, all went on a national tour of kindness this summer. And he is on the broadcast with us in just a little bit to share exactly how that went and to tell us some stories from the road that I know are going to make you feel fantastic. Acts of Random Kindness and our uplifting interview of the week coming up in just a bit. But before we get there, I know that you know this show is all about sort of personal development and making ourselves greater by doing good acts. I got approached the other day by a dear friend of mine who said that she is so tired of living an average life. She said, I'm so sick of getting up and doing the same thing every day. I feel like I have so much more to offer, and yet I'm in this rut. I don't know what to do with myself. And she came to me and she's like, what should I do? And I said, I don't know. I am a student of trying to be better. Like that's my whole thing. I'm just trying to live a better life myself. And so I started looking into this just a little bit, and here's something that I found that I really wanted to share with not just my friend, but with all of you. I thought, hey, it can help all of us, can it? Karen Hua, she's a writer in motivation at EliteDaily.com. She has 14 things we need to stop doing if we want to live a better life. And I thought this list could be pretty important to our self-betterment journey. She says, resolutions for self-improvement are great if you're the type of person who is so self-disciplined that you can actually stay true to your goals for longer than 1 week. As imperfect humans, we are more prone to listen when we are told, no, don't, stop. The negative seems to always be more powerful. So here are 14 things we should all stop doing. Number 1. Stop spending more on material goods than on experiences. Sure, it's great to feel pretty, handsome, and sexy. A single compliment on your looks can make your whole day. However, you are not truly deprived of anything material-wise. Save up for moments you will remember for the rest of your life. Exhilarating moments that make your heart pound and take your breath away. When you want something enough, you'll figure out how to prioritize and afford it. Number 2. Stop making up stories to make your life seem more interesting than it actually is. There is something glorious about superficiality, and there is nothing wrong with the mundane. Just tell the truth, to others and to yourself. Otherwise, you'll fall for the false impression of yourself, and you'll believe you're more worthy of complacency than you actually are. Then, you too will lose track of what's real and what's not. Number 3, stop being afraid to say yes to more things. Sitting around at home on the internet is comfortable and familiar, but there are so many more opportunities if you just show up. That's probably one of my biggest flaws. One of my biggest opportunities is getting up and showing up. Attend more meetings, sign on to new projects, go out for the sake of it, explore a new place by yourself, and don't be afraid to speak up. Feeling passionate and creative is so much better than feeling lethargic. Number 4, stop beating yourself up for not having the time to work out. Also, stop making excuses when you have plenty of time to get some exercise. If you feel like a blob on a couch, your brain probably looks like a blob on the couch too. For example, I combat this by putting an exercise bike right in front of the place that I sit to watch TV. Therefore, if I sit down to watch TV, I have to stare at the exercise bike right next to me. It's the biggest guilt trip you will ever have. Therefore, I always get on the exercise bike instead of sitting down. It really does work. And number 5, stop hating yourself for eating dessert. I love this piece of advice. But also, stop eating dessert just because you hate yourself. I don't know how I feel now. Chocolate may seem like an instant remedy for all of your insecurities, but there are other, more productive ways to deal with stress and emotions. But I'm pretty sure chocolate covers the entire range of stress and emotions. Number 6, stop scrolling through Twitter when you're at dinner with friends. Oh, amen. Stop refreshing your news feed when you're at a party. Stop checking your notifications every time you go out. You will always be able to catch up on social media, but you only have so long with the people that you care about. Number 7, stop giving your time to frenemies and surrounding yourself with people who won't reciprocate feelings of love. Stop allowing people who think negatively of you to consume your energy. They don't deserve it. For starters, find friends you can get to know on a sober level. There's a thought. Make friends with people who are interesting and interested in you, too. Number 8, stop being so judgmental. Consciously stop basing first impressions on physical attractiveness. Shame on you. People are so much more than just a Facebook photo or a profile view from afar. They might surprise you about how beautiful they really are. Number 9, stop revolving your every action on what people may think. Let's not throw it back to high school, please. If you think somebody is interesting or attractive, introduce yourself and tell him or her about it. If you want to join a new friend group, club, or project, don't worry about the initial newbie awkwardness. Don't refute your beliefs or deny your values because others may disagree with them. And don't look disinterested or indifferent because you think it makes you seem cooler. It doesn't. It only makes you seem dispassionate, emotionless, and boring. Number 10, stop complaining about being constantly busy. No one cares and no one will pity you except yourself. The pity party can only last so long before it runs dry. The next time you're idly procrastinating, remind yourself that you are not so busy after all. Number 11, stop overanalyzing everything. Some people will love you and then will suddenly walk away without telling you what you did wrong. Others may be fickle or flaky in trying to figure out exactly what they want, but you do the same thing. Why does every hookup need to be regretted? Why does every text, like, or favorite need to have an alternate meaning? Just relax. Just let ambiguity exist. Number 12, stop erasing and regretting. Write down ideas while they are still fresh. Take way too many unnecessary photos. You're in your 20s, right? Live more while you can still call yourself young. If you're younger than that, consider yourself fortunate and get away from that screen. You have time to regret everything later, or simply don't regret. Number 13, stop being afraid to pursue the dream, no matter how cliche it may sound. You dream of writing books, creating films, being an artist, becoming a CEO, or this country's president, perhaps. Why not let the desire to make your dreams come true overpower your fears for reaching them? And number 14, stop beating yourself up for not being your 100% best all of the time. Self-improvement is a gradual process. Self-discipline is important, but we all screw up. We all cut corners and need vacations. Give yourself some leeway and then get back on track. 14 things we need to stop doing if we want to live a better life, from our friends at EliteDaily.com. We'll make sure to have that list linked up for you on the Do Good Be Great Facebook page, as well as the show notes page at DoGoodBeGreat.com. Up next, our exclusive interview with Alex Radulich, the founder of ARC Project Now, and we hear from him all those stories, all of the events that he took part in during his organization's national tour this summer. Yeah, all those random acts of kindness, they went somewhere. We hear about them after the break. Stick with us. It is the Do Good, Be Great podcast.
What's up? Oh wow. Okay, let's be brutally honest. This is the old guy award. This is like the grandpa award. And after this, I get to go to like the geriatric home. First of all, I don't have a career without you guys. I don't get to do any of the things that I get to do without you. You know, I thought that, I thought that it might be interesting. You know, in Hollywood and in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick. And I feel like a fraud. My name is actually not even Ashton. Ashton is my middle name. My first name's Chris. And it always has been. And it got changed when I was like 19 and I became an actor. But there were some really amazing things that I learned when I was Chris. And I wanted to share those things with you guys because I think it's helped me be here today. So it's really three things. The first thing is about opportunity. The second thing is about being sexy. And the third thing is about living life. So first, opportunity. I believe that opportunity looks a lot like hard work. When I was 13, I had my first job with my dad carrying shingles up to the roof. And then I got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. And then I got a job in a grocery store deli. And then I got a job in a factory sweeping Cheerio dust off the ground. And I've never had a job in my life that I was better than. I was always just lucky to have a job. And every job I had was a stepping stone to my next job. And I never quit my job until I had my next job. And so opportunities look a lot like work. Number 2, being sexy. The sexiest thing in the entire world is being really smart. And being thoughtful. And being generous. Everything else is crap, I promise you. It's just crap that people try to sell to you to make you feel like less. So don't buy it. Be smart, be thoughtful, and be generous. The third thing is something that I just relearned when I was making this movie about Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs said, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way that it is. And that your life is to live your life inside the world and try not to get in too much trouble and maybe get an education and get a job and make some money and have a family. But life can be a lot broader than that when you realize one simple thing. And that is that everything around us that we call life was made up by people that are no smarter than you. And you can build your own things. You can build your own life that other people can live in. So build a life. Don't live one. Build one. Find your opportunities and always be sexy. I love you guys.
My soul is not contained within the limits of my body. My body is contained within the limitlessness of my soul. I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart. We're not the avatars we create. We're not the pictures on the film stock. We are the light that shines through. All else is just smoke and mirrors, distracting, but not truly compelling. Our eyes are not viewers. They're also projectors that are running a second story over the picture that we see in front of us all the time. Fear is writing that script. Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying that you can ask the universe for it. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. As far as I can tell, it's just about letting the universe know what you want and working toward it while letting go of how it comes to pass. Why not take a chance on faith? Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it. You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world. And after you walk through those doors today, you will only ever have two choices: love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
Ordinary people do extraordinary things. It's what being great is all about. From topics of the day to acts of courage and kindness, it's time for our uplifting interview of the week. And now, here's Wade.
If you listen to this show regularly, you'll remember this guy. He dropped out of college to commit his life to random acts of kindness. Or should I say acts of random kindness, because that stands for ARK, ARC Project Now. He is the founder of it. He's with us once again. Alex Radulich, what's up, man?
Not much. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is a delight as always, and you have had a heck of a summer. If you guys recall, Alex and his team, just before summer, we talked to them, and they were about to go on a national tour of kindness. And Alex, can you tell us a little bit about that, how you came, just to bring people up to speed, how you came to go on this national tour?
Yeah, so last year we did a 6,000-mile road trip just in the name of Acts of Random Kindness, and it was a massive success, bigger than anything we could have ever imagined. And then this year, we were donated a brand new RV by Thor and Lippert Components, and we just wanted to make everything we did bigger and better. So we decided to take this 10,000-mile road trip around the perimeter of the United States, and it took 10 weeks, and we finished just over a month and a half ago, and it has been absolutely incredible.
Now tell us some of the greatest things that happened on this journey.
Okay. Oh, man, I don't even know where to start, honestly. I would say one of the biggest things we did was taking a whole Boys and Girls Club to Disney World for the day. That one was kind of special to me because I put a lot of time and energy and finances into making this thing happen. So we decided to take this Boys and Girls Club that was an hour and a half away, because right around like 60% of the kids have never been to Disney. They were just so close yet so far away. And
what torture.
Exactly. We ended up going there 3 days early just to kind of, get to know the kids and make sure everybody's comfortable with us. And we rented out a Greyhound bus and went to Disney and spent a day there, and it was the most fun ever. 41 kids, 9 chaperones, but we were all kids for the day. It was so much fun. Number 2, we'd go with in Baltimore. So it's probably 2 to 3 weeks after the rioting. We rented out an ice cream truck and invited some of the police officers over. And we just did some of the bad parts of town again and handed out free ice cream all day. Let's see here. Oh, in Denver, Colorado, we helped one of our friends' propose to his girlfriend. Because 2 weeks into the trip, we came up with this list of 75 things we want to accomplish, whether it was on this trip or just in the near future. And one of them was help plan this elaborate proposal. So we had this whole thing set up for when they fly back into the airport. And then we went a day early to the airport just to set up and stuff, and we got kicked out immediately. And,
well, of course.
Yeah. And then last minute came up with this brilliant plan of him proposing to her where they first met, which was just at this random Starbucks in Denver. And it went so smoothly, and we created this video and got a lot of traction from that video as well. And then we're going to skip over to San Diego, California, where we came up with this idea of a money board, which basically just said, take what you need, give what you can. And we put $21 bills on it and just put it on this wall at this beach and just watched for 3 hours as people walked by and put more money on the board or took a couple bucks off. And we thought this thing would be done within 4 or 5 minutes because it's $20 just sitting there waiting to be taken. But, it quadrupled. And then it lasted 3 hours, and we kind of got tired of watching it. It ended on just this not high note of a bunch of high schoolers coming by and taking the money, but they were hungry, and it's not a big deal. I'm glad we did it anyways.
That's an interesting idea. Where did you come up with something like that?
We had one of our team members, BC, he kind of has this big following online, and he just said, what do you guys want to see us do? And somebody threw out that idea because they saw it previously in, I think, in New York. So we're like, yeah, let's see what the West Coast can bring.
Interesting. That's something I've never heard of before, but sounds like it would be a lot of fun to watch, unless it was 3 hours, of course.
I mean, it was 3 happy hours because it was kind of blowing our minds that like it was lasting this long and people were actually putting money on. I mean, we could have swore like it's $20, somebody's going to take it, but just built up and we had people surrounding us like asking us what's going on, and then we kind of pretended we didn't know what was going on. But just kind of manned our cameras or had them camouflaged and stuff like that. But it was a blast.
Oh, cool.
Okay. I think one of the cooler things we did as well was we wanted to see if our following could commit an act of random kindness in all 50 states within 24 hours. So we just picked this random day and pretty much just sat by our computers and made calls and just like waited for stories to come in. And it ended up being until like midnight Pacific time, and we finally got the 50th act of kindness. I think it was in like Dakota or some random state that we had no friends in. But we accomplished that, and then that's kind of one of those things that we want to be our staples. So like once a month, it's just happening without us even like trying. Just all of our followers kind of sending in stories from all 50 states. That was probably the 5th cool thing that happened.
That's so neat that you were able to connect with somebody in every single state, and everybody was able to come together for acts of random kindness. Now, tell me, what was sort of the reactions that you got from people as you rolled into town? Was there any initial hesitation at first? Did people give in and say, I want to be a part of this? What happened?
We kind of just created this whole big groundswell wherever we landed because, we kind of have this nice and flashy RV now, so when we roll up, people are like, what are these people about? And they usually, think it's going to be some adults or something, but it ends up being, 4 21-year-olds just excited to see them. So yeah, we're kind of growing very rapidly right now. It's exciting.
That is thrilling. So you and your team, you said 4 of you, right?
We're right on 4 or 5 guys right now.
That's fantastic. Did anybody take anything away from this experience that was like overly emotional or anything extra special that you heard the guys talking about?
I'm sure there's something. It's just not coming to mind right now. I know there was just a lot of bonding going on between all of the guys because, we're living really close quarters for 10 weeks and we literally do not have a moment to ourselves. But just, I guess, the brotherhood that was built this summer is unbreakable, and we're excited for the next couple of road trips that we have planned.
So tell me, how many states in total did you guys hit?
If I had to throw out a number, I would say anywhere between 20 and 33.
33, okay.
33, yeah.
How much time did you spend in each state? Was there like an allotted amount of time each location, or were you like, we're going to hit up 3 cities there, and then we're going to move to the next state and only hit 1 city? What was your strategy?
It kind of just depended on what we had planned in the near future. We kind of went into this with the idea of let's not plan anything, let's just let things happen, but also be intentional. So I guess like the bigger things we had planned would have been Disney or Baltimore or things like that. And then we just had to make sure we made it there on time. So we really spent just different amounts of time in each city. We kind of just felt it out once we got there.
And I did notice that when you guys were in Baltimore, you mentioned that it was shortly after the riots there. I know that there was a local news station that had covered your event, and we certainly shared that on our platforms as well, just to sort of point at, hey, look at this good dropping into all that unfortunate bad. And what was that feeling like to be in a community, to be in an area that was really the focus of the nation for a certain amount of time over such a dark topic?
We all just felt really lucky that we were there at that time, just after it kind of made national news and was in the news for a good week or two. We kind of felt lucky that we had the opportunity to, rent out this ice cream truck and just try and spread happiness and smiles throughout whatever little neighborhoods we were in.
Did you get any feedback from the community in Baltimore? Anybody come and talk to you guys?
Yeah, we got a lot of thank yous. A lot of parents stopped by, after their kids came home with ice cream on their face and came out and just talked with us, which was great to just kind of, be there and just be an open ear.
I saw that the cop showed up too.
Yeah, he was there. He got his hands dirty a little bit and handed out some ice cream with us, which was great.
Isn't it true that ice cream just makes everything better?
Absolutely, and it was a blazing hot day, so it was perfect.
An ideal situation for everybody. That's great.
Totally.
And when you guys went to Walt Disney World, how many kids did you end up being able to take?
We took 41 kids,
wow.
Which it was awesome. And then we had 9 chaperones total, so each of us had right around 5 or 6 kids, which was just perfect.
What an awesome experience that has to be.
Oh, totally. It was a blast. We were all kids for a day, honestly.
Especially to be right, you said down the road, especially to be right down the road from the Magic Kingdom and not be able to go in or not be able to experience it having never been there before. You made some dreams come true. How does that make you feel?
I feel great about it. What was, I guess, one of the things that happened to Jacob, one of our team members, was throughout the day, we kind of switched teams every once in a while, and he ended up only having to take care of this one kid. And he really just connected with the kid. I can't remember his name at the moment because, unfortunately, it's not my story. But he just said, this kid was talking about, how he's never seen his father, and he left when he was super young. And then Jacob realized, he was his father for the day, and the kid was, attached to him, and he just, grabbing his arm the whole day. And he said he was just super thankful for, the chance to be this kid's father for a day and just kind of go out to Disney and have fun, not have to worry about anything.
You don't know what type of lives that these kids lead outside of, that Boys and Girls Club, and truly a testament right there to the power of showing kindness to others. You just never know. You never know what it is that you're able to do for somebody until you act. Now, on this journey across the country where you're doing these acts of random kindness, you mentioned that there was a point in San Diego where you sat and watched from a distance. Were there any other situations across the country where you sort of did a wait-and-see type moment? Any other wait-and-see incidents?
I would say so. There's a couple times when we happen to have an extra 10 or 20 bucks, so we just leave it somewhere with an art card. I guess that would be one of those wait and see things. But the great thing about that money board is it was so easy to set up, and it's one of those things we're gonna try, throughout our next road trip and just set it up and watch it for a couple hours just to see what happens.
And now, where did you guys, because I don't think we covered this, where did you guys end up getting the resources to be able to pull this off, to be able to throw that cash out there and to be able to help everybody with these acts of random kindness?
The financials about this road trip are probably the most interesting thing about the road trip. Just to kind of put it into perspective, last year for the 6,000-mile road trip, we ended up with $15,000, which was $5,000 to keep us alive, and then $10,000 spread throughout the country. This year, we left with $7,000, so we had half the budget. We had a longer trip. It ended up being 10,000 miles, and then we just wanted to make things bigger and better. So this whole time, we're preaching it doesn't take all this money and all this stuff to impact someone's day, and then we actually had the chance to do that, because the whole trip we did not have enough money to make it home, yet we wanted to do these big things like take these kids to Disney, which ended up tipping really heavily into our gas budget and our food budget. We actually didn't have enough money to make it home until the last week and a half. We met with MapQuest, and they were super excited about what we did, and they gave us enough to get home. It was awesome.
In our last interview, Alex, we talked about, the validation of what it is that you're doing and how you've committed your life to spreading one act of random kindness at a time, and how you weren't sure at first, but now you are, that this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And moments like those where you're not able to even get home because things were cut a little short financially. And then all of a sudden MapQuest comes out of nowhere and says, We got you. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I don't know. I'm very just happy to be where I'm at right now and just kind of be a part of the ride that is ARC Project. Like, I don't know, where our next paycheck for a trip is coming from or something like that. I'm just excited to kind of be a part of it and throw out ideas and execute on those ideas. And I'm very thankful for your Lippert Components and Thor Motor Coach and MapQuest, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. And we've just, we've created this amazing story. And then luckily this year we had a professional documentary filmmaker be with us for that 10-week journey. And I don't know, I'm very, very thankful for everything that's been happening.
Now, with this documentary filmmaker that sort of tracked you guys, is there a place where we can see footage? Is there a place where we can see these videos?
Yep. So right now we're still working on editing it. We're trying to make it a right around 40 to 60-minute feature. The idea right now is if we can get it done in time, we're going to submit it to like South by Southwest and Sundance and just hope to get in.
Yeah,
it's a big one. If we get into those, then we'll kind of hold the premiere off until, obviously, Sundance or South by Southwest. And then after all of that's said and done and we do like this little film festival circuit, we'll put it online for free for anybody to see.
So in our original chat, you had disclosed to me that, you know what, this was all inspired by the movie Evan Almighty, in which Steve Carell played Evan and Morgan Freeman played God, because that is the role Morgan Freeman was meant to play, as we all have come to understand.
Totally.
Yes. And that was when Morgan Freeman as God said to Evan, one act of random kindness at a time is all it takes to change the world, and that is what you guys have been doing. What would you tell people that are looking to sort of take a leap of faith, sort of take that chance on committing themselves to something bigger? You decided that you were just going to plunge into it, and I mean, you left a lot behind. You said, I'm leaving school, I'm doing this full time, I'm going to make this my reality, and you've been very successful in pulling this off and doing what you want to do. What would you tell others that might be afraid to?
I would honestly just say go at it full force. There's a lot of things I noticed that were taking up my time that weren't necessarily worth it in this whole big picture idea, so I would just drop them. I mean, that was college, that was sleep. There was a time when I was not sleeping for 3 or 4 days straight just because I was working on this whole idea of ARC. I don't know. I'm completely for people going at things 100% and kind of getting rid of these stupid, meaningless distractions that we all face every single day.
And where do you find that courage at to go at it full force? I mean, you took this leap of faith, and it sounds like when you say it, you were so sure, or at least that's the way you make it sound, that you were so sure about this. How does one find the courage to do something like that?
I think I have this crazy mindset where I know everything is going to be okay, which then allows me to take just these stupid risks, is what I would call them, of dropping out of college and taking this untraditional route of living life. I'm not going to college to get a corporate job or all that stuff. I'm trying to start up this nonprofit, which immediately is just a red flag because, most people are thinking they want to be a millionaire or something like that, whereas in the nonprofit sector, you're not known for getting paid.
Right, and yet you went full force and said, I'll make this happen.
Totally. It's very fulfilling for me to do this kind of work and just create smiles on other people.
Now tell us if anybody wanted to contribute to ARC Project and wanted to give to you guys, wanted to support you and help make more magic happen on your end, what would they do? Where would they go?
The easiest place to get connected would be our website, which is www.arcprojectnow.com, and that's ARKprojectnow.com.
We will certainly make sure to have all of that linked up as well on the show notes page at dogoodbegreat.com. And you know what? I believe that we follow you on our Facebook page too. So multiple ways to get in touch with ARC Project now. Alex, it is always a great treasure to be able to talk to you and to say that I know this guy. That is so cool for me. So congratulations on your 10-week cross-country journey and being able to affect so many people and to lift so many spirits.
Thanks so much, man.
Face it, the news can be a total drag. That is, unless you get the news from us. Stories that inspire, people that make a difference, and words that illuminate. From the Do Good to Be Great newsroom, it's time for Headlines Worth Sharing.
Every year in downtown Louisville, the Road City Run starts just the same. Runners eager to conquer 10 kilometers of pavement with passion. One by one, each of them reaches their goal, some besting last year's time, others forgetting the clock altogether. There are no losers here, not even the person who finishes dead last. Asia Ford wears that badge with a smile as long as the race itself. This event is only one leg of her life's journey.
It's been a struggle because nothing is easy in life. And it's been a lot of teary moments, but I know I want it for myself.
For years, Ford struggled with her weight, topping out at nearly 500 pounds. Deep down, she knew something had to change, and it finally did when her husband at the time lost a limb from diabetes. From that moment on, every time she went to the doctor, her children worried.
That was when I woke up and knew that I couldn't allow them to be on this earth without my help. You know, and the only way I would be able to help them is if I help myself first.
So she started working out, joined a boot camp with supportive friends, and before she knew it, lost 25 pounds. And she's been shedding weight ever since. And Saturday morning, it was time to reach a new goal, finish the Road City Run. And she did good up until mile number 4 when she started to feel sick and a stranger drove up. That stranger was Lieutenant Aubrey Gregory.
I'm not going to let her quit. So I got out, walked over, she immediately grabbed my hand.
He asked me if I wanted to stop, and I was like, no, we have 2 more miles to go.
But she would not go it alone. Someone trailing behind the pair took this picture of Ford hand in hand with the lieutenant as they walked toward the finish line. Along the way, they swapped stories. The lieutenant chatted with her children, even shared the loss of his own mother to diabetes. And before they knew it, there were just a few steps to go.
Your heart starts to fill up. You start to get those goosebumps and tingles all over your body. And when I watched her approach and I started to hear the people scream, and I let her go right there before the end and watched her raise her hands, there aren't words. There just aren't words to the way I felt.
Teary-eyed. It was a really special moment.
The picture that captured the moment went viral, more than 40,000 likes and over 6,000 shares. Surely no one downtown saw this ending coming. What they did witness was a man who was more than his badge and gun, an officer enforcing the law of kindness.
Greece Athena High School in Rochester, New York, has a new, most unlikely hero, a special ed student by the name of Jason McElwain.
Let's keep it going.
Jason is the basketball team manager. For the past couple years, he's been assisting Coach Jim Johnson, helping with whatever the team needs.
And go! Get him motivated and hand out water and just be enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic, to say the least. Despite being born with autism, Jason's father says his son has never had a problem expressing himself at basketball games.
You know, I was always concerned that he might get a technical and they lose a game because he, start yelling or whatever.
Let's have a hard practice tomorrow, all hour and a half, and let's get ready for Arcadia. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 2.
Because he has been so devoted to the team,
For the last game of the season, Coach Johnson decided to let Jason actually suit up. Not to play necessarily, just to let him feel what it's like to wear a jersey.
At least that was the plan. But with 4 minutes to go in last week's game, Coach Johnson stood up and pointed to number 52, Jason McElwain. After years of fetching water and toweling off other people's sweat, Jason was actually in a game. His first shot was a 20-footer from the right baseline.
Was it close? Did you almost make it?
I just airballed it.
I'm like, just, dear God, please, let's just get him a basket.
His second shot missed too, but the third was a charm. A three-point no-doubter. And Jason wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot.
If I wasn't there to witness it, I wouldn't have believed it, you know.
You caught fire.
I just caught fire. I was hot as a pistol.
Jason ended up shooting 6 3-pointers. One right after the other. He had 20 points total, and each time a shot went in, his teammates and the crowd went a little crazier. His last basket, right at the buzzer, created total mayhem. Because he is autistic, Jason says he's used to feeling different, but never this different. Never this wonderful. Steve Hartman, CBS News, Rochester, New York.
The memories of a down-and-out life on the streets are still so vivid for a South Richmond mother. She feels compelled to help others avoid that harsh existence. Now that she has a home, the welcome mat is always out for those in need. This good neighbor is this week's Acts of Kindness recipient.
My house ain't the best house. I have problems, but it's always open to anybody that knocks.
Anyone who enters Teresa Martin's 2-bedroom rancher will typically be offered a hot meal, fresh clothing, a comfortable place to rest. Teresa remembers when she couldn't always count on having them herself.
I've been down on my luck since I was 11. I used to be out in the street a lot, and I was really out there. Okay. And I seen the hard times. It's really hard out there. I feel for the homeless out there.
Now those in need of shelter frequently find their way to Teresa's.
They comes every day. I had a couple of them come last night around about 11 o'clock, and I opened my door, let them in, I fed them, gave them some water and stuff.
She'll help you wash your clothes, she'll feed you, take clothes off of her back to give to you. She's just amazing. Just kind-hearted, a wonderful soul.
Neighbor Sharika Arrington says whether it's family, friends, or a complete stranger, Teresa always tries to help.
She's awesome. Like just the other day, before I called, she was helping somebody else at the store. They were trying to scrape up change. She went in her pocket and gave them $2. That's what made me kind of think like she needs this. Because she'll give you her last.
We are really happy to give you $100, $200, $300.
Oh my God.
To pass on to your good neighbor.
Yeah.
Teresa lives just a few doors down the block and has no idea we're about to pay her a surprise visit.
Sabrina!
Hi! Teresa Martin, congratulations. You're this week's Acts of Kindness recipient.
I nominated you for the Good Samaritans to receive $300.
Oh my goodness.
Come on out here.
Oh my goodness. Nobody never did that for me like this. Thank you. I'm shaking. I'm sorry.
And this $300 is actually yours.
Ooh. Wow.
100, 200, 300.
Thank you.
Actually yours.
Well, this goes towards the people I feed.
Teresa says it's the second big surprise she's had in 6 months. Since that news, a cancer diagnosis, she's been forced to slow down.
It's very hard. It's very hard because I be sick a lot of days. But I managed to get up. I'm still here, and I'm still going to help.
And we're always looking for the next acts of kindness recipient. Want to pass on $300 to someone in need?
Part of being great is being friendly. So hang with Wade all week by following him on Instagram and Twitter by searching the username WadeWire. Or email the show directly at dgbgradio@gmail.com. And now, back to more goodness and greatness with my boy, Wade Heath.
That's right. Welcome back to the big show. Hey, I know as much as you do how badly stress can tear apart your well-being, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. We've got the least stressed cities in America. Maybe you live in one. Maybe you're close to one. Maybe you can get to one if your life is consumed by stress. This comes courtesy of Huffington Post. Good news. They wanted to share this with us. They said, feeling stressed out? You're not the only one. A 2014 study by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the Harvard School of Public Health found that half of all American adults dealt with a major stressful event over the prior year. And that doesn't even consider the cumulative effect, the smaller daily stresses of our modern life, such as credit card bills, children, mortgage payments, and keeping up with social media. Yet in some peaceful corners of the country, life moves at a slower pace. Work hours are reasonable, traffic isn't so bad, and people smile at each other on the sidewalk. What is this fairyland they speak of? Where are these low sanctuaries, you ask? Smart Asset has the answer. First, their key findings. They say college towns are totally chill. Each of the top 10 least stressed cities in our study is home to a major public university. Universities typically provide stable employment with good wages and reasonable work hours. The cost of living in college towns is generally low despite a relatively high quality of life. They say taking it easy in Colorado and the Midwest. They said Midwestern states accounted for 8 of the top 10 least stressed cities. Colorado took the other 2 spots. Midwestern towns are generally known for their laid-back lifestyle. As for Colorado, well, we can only speculate. And finally, stressed out in South Florida. They said Miami ranked as the most stressed city in our study. 3 other South Florida cities cracked the bottom 5. This appears to be largely due to economic and financial stressors. For example, housing costs in the Miami area consume about 40% of average incomes. Yes, that would absolutely consume me in stress. Now, they said in order to find America's least stressed cities, Smart Asset collected city and county level data on the 500 largest cities in the country. They said we considered 9 separate metrics in total, which can be generally subdivided into 2 categories. One is stressors and one is stress relievers. They said we ranked each one of the 500 cities in our study on the above 9 metrics and averaged those rankings, giving equal weight to each one. The city with the best average ranking scored a 100, and the city with the worst average ranking received 0, with the scores distributed evenly in between. So let's get to the list, shall we? Number 1, Iowa City, Iowa. The largest single employer in Iowa City is by far the University of Iowa. According to the city's 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the University of Iowa employs over 30,000 people in Iowa City. The next largest employer, the Iowa City School District, employs just 1,700. In short, the university has an outsized effect on the local economy and therefore local stress levels. They said our analysis found that Iowa City has the 16th lowest bankruptcy rate of any major U.S. city, with just 8 personal bankruptcies for every 100,000 residents in 2014. It also has the 10th lowest unemployment rate and the 3rd shortest average work week at a mere 33.4 hours. In comparison, the average work week in Chicago is 38.5 hours. Next up, Madison, Wisconsin. While Madison, like Iowa City, is home to a major public university, higher education and Big Ten sports are not the only shows in town. Madison also serves as the state capital of Wisconsin, just as the University of Wisconsin is a source of well-paying, stable, and therefore relatively low-stress jobs, so is the state government. Number 3, Duluth, Minnesota. Located along the far western tip of Lake Superior, Duluth is the economic hub of an area that includes northern Wisconsin and the western portions of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It is home to the University of Minnesota Duluth, the third largest employer in the city after the St. Louis County Government and Essentia Health. It also is a popular tourist destination, serving as a gateway to Minnesota's North Shore and the Superior National Forest. Perhaps those outdoor amenities help the people of Duluth unwind. Or perhaps it's just a good night's sleep. According to data from Jawbone, residents of St. Louis County, in which Duluth is located, get 7.2 hours of sleep per night, the fifth highest of any U.S. county. Next up, Boulder, Colorado. Boulder has long been recognized as a destination for those seeking a low-stress lifestyle. In the 1960s, the area gained a reputation as a haven for hippies. While that era may be over, certain elements of the hippie movement maintain a hold on the Boulder culture. It remains one of the most popular cities for outdoor enthusiasts and a top choice for users of recreational marijuana. The data reflects this easygoing culture. Boulder ranked in the top 20 of the 500 largest cities in the country for its short work week and its high concentration of entertainment establishments, while Boulder County ranked 19th for its average nightly sleep hours. Columbia, Missouri. A 2001 study on commute times found the ideal commute should last about 16 minutes. Any longer than that, and the stress of driving in traffic or sitting in a crowded bus begin to take a toll. I will tell you, here in Southern California, my average commute to the grocery store lasts about 45 minutes. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm not. I feel like it's a real thing. Any shorter, and your hair might still be wet when you reach the office in the morning. That's 16 minutes. In Columbia, the average commute is 16.5 minutes long. In other words, just about perfect. That's one less stressor for Columbians to worry about, and a major reason it ranks as the 6th least stress city in the country. Number 7, Fargo, North Dakota. Over the past several decades, even as the rest of the country has seen its fair share of economic ups and downs, the Fargo economy has remained strong. At the depths of the most recent recession, Fargo's unemployment rate never topped 5%, and the city's housing market was largely untouched by the national foreclosure crisis. That type of stability can put a lot of minds at ease, as workers and homeowners don't have to worry about losing their job or their home. Indeed, job losses and foreclosures are two of the major reasons stress levels spike during a recession. Not so in Fargo, at least in recent history. Next up, Fort Collins, Colorado. According to the Mayo Clinic, virtually any form of exercise from aerobics to yoga can act as a stress reliever. That's good news for Fort Collins, which ranks as one of the most active cities in the entire country. Some 67% of the city's population gets the recommended amount of weekly exercise. That's 150 minutes of moderate physical activity or 75 minutes of rigorous physical activity. That's the 4th highest percentage of the 500 largest U.S. cities. Lawrence, Kansas is next. Lawrence is the quintessential college town, subdued and relatively empty in the summer. It comes to life each fall when the students arrive, boosting the city's population by more than 20%. The University of Kansas is easily the largest employer in the city, providing a stable of generally well-paying, low-stress jobs at its main campus and the KU Medical Center. Ann Arbor, Michigan made the list. They said the name Ann Arbor refers to the matriarchs of the city, 2 founding families, as well as the abundance of trees throughout the area. Indeed, those looking for a shady place to read a book or take a nap should have no problem finding one. And this brings us to number 10. The final least stressed city in America is Bloomington, Illinois. In many parts of the country, high housing costs place a strain on budgets, forcing families to make tough financial decisions and contributing to generally higher stress levels. Not so in Bloomington, though. In this central Illinois city, average annual housing costs consume just 17.3% of median household income. That is the 3rd lowest ratio of the 500 largest cities in the country. Once again, the top 10 least stressed cities in America. Unbelievable. that Southern California cities didn't even make it onto the list. Very disappointing. To round it out for you, number 11, Rochester, Minnesota. Number 12, Orem, Utah. Number 13, Santa Barbara, California. Well, it's sort of southern. I mean, it's a beautiful oasis is what it is. So Santa Barbara made it. Number 14, Newton, Massachusetts. Number 15, Champaign, Illinois. 16, Provo, Utah. 17, Gainesville, Florida. 18, Appleton, Wisconsin. 19, College Station, Texas. And 20, Meridian, Idaho. So you can see this entire list. We'll have it linked up for you on the show notes page at dogoodbegreat.com. Once again, the least stressed cities in America and how they came to that conclusion. Did you make it? Is your city one of them? Let me know. dgbgradio@gmail.com. Tweet me at WadeWire. Let me know if you agree with the list or if you have a different take by contacting me there. I'll just be sitting over here pulling my hair out, sweating, and stressing as I sit in traffic. More Do Good, Be Great podcast next.
Changing the world starts by changing your attitude. This is the home of inspiration, hope, and a better tomorrow. You're tuned in to the Do Good, Be Great podcast with Wade Heath.
I could tell right away from a very young age that she was one of those creative, artistic souls. And I've heard people say, wow, if Isabel can do it, I can do it. I take Isabel with me to volunteer work. She really loves helping out with the rabbits. And she's come to know about some of the issues that they face. So with that natural childlike compassion, her first instinct is, I want to do something to help. So she decided she should use her talent for drawing animals to bring in some money for the rescue. I thought she would raise $100. I thought maybe a few of our friends would sort of humor her. Next thing I knew, word was spreading all over, and everybody wanted a pet portrait by Isabel. Before we knew it, she had done about 300 portraits all told. It just sort of went crazy. When they see Isabel's drawings, they're seeing something really honest. They're seeing their animal through the eyes of a child. They'll say, wow, you really captured my dog's personality. He's such a funny guy, you know. You really nailed it. Almost every day I get people asking me, well, when's she going to do another one? This project has had a big impact. She gave the largest donation from a single person that the shelter's ever got. Well, I think that's such a wonderful lesson that creativity can change the world, that everybody has something that they can contribute. It's really, really cool to see that lesson come from her.
The world is coming to an end. The air is polluted, the ocean's contaminated. The animals are going extinct, the economy's collapsed. Education is shot, police are corrupt. Intelligence is shunned and ignorance rewarded. The people are depressed and angry. We can't live with each other and we can't live with ourselves, so everyone's medicated. We pass each other on the streets, and if we do speak, it's meaningless robotic communication. More people want 15 seconds of fame than a lifetime of meaning and purpose, because what's popular is more important than what's right. Ratings are more important than the truth. Our government builds twice as many prisons than schools. It's easier to find a Big Mac than an apple. And when you find the apple, it's been genetically processed and modified. Presidents lie, politicians trick us. Race is still an issue, and so is religion. Your God doesn't exist. My God does, and He is all loving. If you disagree with me, I'll kill you. or even worse, argue you to death. 92% of songs on the radio are about sex. Kids don't play tag, they play twerk videos. The average person watches 5 hours of television a day, and it's more violence on the screen than ever before. Technology has given us everything we could ever want, and at the same time stolen everything we really need. Pride is at an all-time high, humility an all-time low. Everybody knows everything, everybody's going somewhere, ignoring someone, blaming somebody. Not many human beings left anymore, a lot of human doings, plenty of human lingerings in the past, not many human beings. Money is still the root of all evil, yet we tell our kids, don't get that degree, the jobs don't pay enough. Good deeds are only done when there's a profit margin. Videos of the misfortunes of others go viral. We laugh and share them with our friends to laugh with us. Our role models today, 60 years ago, would have been examples of what not to be. There are states where people can legally be discriminated against because they were born a certain way. Companies invest millions of dollars hiring specialists to make little girls feel like they need makeup to be beautiful, permanently lowering their self-esteem because they will never be pretty enough to meet those impossible standards. Corporations tell us, buy, get this, get that. You must keep up, you must fit in. This will make you happy, but it never does for long. So what can we do in the face of all this madness and chaos? What is the solution? We can love. Not the love you hear in your favorite song on the radio. I mean real love, true love, boundless love. You can love each other from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. Perform an act of kindness because that is contagious. We can be mindful during every interaction, planting seeds of goodness, showing a little more compassion than usual. We can forgive because 300 years from now, will that grudge you hold against your friend, your mother, your father have been worth it? Instead of trying to change others, we can change ourselves. We can change our hearts. We've been sold lies, brainwashed by our leaders and those we trust, and not recognize our brothers and sisters and to exhibit anger, hatred, and cruelty. But once we truly love, we will meet anger with sympathy, hatred with compassion, cruelty with kindness. Love is the most powerful weapon on the face of the earth. Robert Kennedy once said that few will have the greatness to be in history, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events, and in the total of all those acts will be written the history of a generation. So yes, the world is coming to an end, and the path towards a new beginning starts within you.
If there's one thing I know, it's how to party. And the party for a better tomorrow starts right here. So stop wasting time and invite some friends to listen already. Now, back to the Do Good and Be Great podcast with my boy, Wade Heath.
All right, before we get out of here, a special thanks to our boy Alex Radulich of Arc Project Now, friend of the program, for dropping by one more time to share with us all of his awesome stories about his organization's national tour of kindness from the summer. Guys, big things are going to be happening for Arc Project Now. If you want to be a part of it, or if you just want to learn more about Alex's organization, all you got to do is head on over to the show notes page, dogoodbegreat.com. We've got all the information linked up under today's broadcast. And by the way, if you know a do-gooder who needs to know that they are not alone, please pass the broadcast along to them, share the link, let them know that the Do Good Army is standing in the light of good, and we are taking new recruits. We are only strong because of our unity. So please join us. You can send them in the direction of iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. All three platforms have the Do Good Be Great podcast available. You can also have any of your friends like us on Facebook by searching Do Good Be Great, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WadeWire. All the ways to get connected to us, all laid out for you right there. You have absolutely no excuse now. And while you're there, be sure to rate and review us, please. Let everybody know how you feel about the program. That is the life force of the broadcast. The rates and reviews get us to new places if they are positive, so be sure to share how you really feel. And if you don't like us, it's okay. I already live in one of the most stressed cities in the country, so yeah, I've got that to deal with along with your criticism now. Anyway, more Do Good Be Great podcast coming up in the weeks ahead. You can also check us out, the Daily Good podcast, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we talk about motivation, we talk about wellness, and we talk about ways in which to help you feel good. Oh yeah, you do not want to miss it. Thanks for joining us today, everybody, and until we meet again, might I encourage you to continue to be great.
That makes you so here we go. I'm so stoked, you're on fire. When we touch, it's like hitting a live wire. Let's get lost, me and you. All we need is something, baby, to hang on to. Wind me up, cut me loose. You're the one gonna light my fuse. If you're revved up, let me know. That makes you so here we go. Are you ready for the great escape? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Set me up for the great escape. Oh, can't wait to vacate. Under pressure, I'm about to break. It's the great escape. We got drums and guitars, got it pumping like gasoline so far. Countdown to bust out, it's all rolling up to right now. Wind me up, cut me loose. You're the one gonna light my fuse. If you're crazy, let it show. That makes you so here we go. Are you ready for the great escape? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Set me up for the great escape. Oh, can't wait to vacate. Under pressure, I'm about to break. It's the great escape. The earth moves, the walls shake. It feels like an earthquake. Yeah, it's time to vacate this place. Are you ready for the great escape? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Set me up for the great escape. Oh, can't wait to vacate. Under pressure, I'm about to break. It's the great escape. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Set me up for the great escape. Oh, can't wait to vacate. Under pressure, I'm about to break. It's the great escape. 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 It's the great
Wade often says, there are more good people than you realize, so be a part of the community that's growing daily and unite with others as part of the Do Good Nation on social media. Stand up, be counted at facebook.com/dogoodbegreat. Join us and lead by example today.